yeah, you are in a like you are using a particular computer now, and they tell you that okay, you are supposed to do like a design. You don't know the design that you want to do, but you are doing a design, and that design is not meeting the client's expectation. You understand? The design is not meeting your client expectation. You are doing the right thing, but at the same time, you are not doing the right thing, which is the right thing that your customer or your client wants. You understand? So it's just like it says, programmers doing the right thing, but frequently not programming the right thing. You are not doing what your clients wants. I say most of the time, most of the project time is allocated to the development and testing phase. Yes, you know that like all this is trying to say when you spend so much time from the development stage, like okay, yes, you you gather information, and at the development stage, that's where you're supposed to implement say, okay, this is what this is meant to do. You've now wasted so much time at that stage because from the beginning you did not get what the right thing is meant to be. So he said, okay, there is poor alignment of the developed system to the business strategy of the project. Okay, you see this one. I'm going to give you an example when it comes to this. So in Nigeria, we are like a left-handed drive kind of people. You understand? So now they tell you that you're supposed to make a car. You don't gather proper information. They just tell you that, okay, yes, you're supposed to make a car. You not ask if it's going to be like a manual, if it's going to be like an automatic, if it's going to be left. Then you have done the car, but the car came out to be a right-handed car. So, I mean, you've done your job quite all right, but you've done a poor job because it is not what your clients want. I mean, the car will come out nice, it will come out beautiful, but that is not what the clients want because it does not align with the strategy of the client. I don't know. Please just let me know if you understand what I'm saying. And also, it says there is a poor requirements management, obviously. This one explains itself quite all right. It says these findings are particularly significant because the cost of correcting errors in requirements increases dramatically if they are discovered as the work progresses further through the development life cycle. And yet, the studies quoted above identifies requirements analysis as the most prone stage of development. Yes, you see, requirement analysis, there is no way that there is not going to be errors when you are gathering information because during a meeting, you say, oh, okay, this is what you want. Then your client says, okay, this is how it should be. Your job as a business analyst is to say, okay, this is the best way possible that this and this is meant to go. So Whaley and Carver, 2009, identified over 90 causes of requirement errors in a meta-study that they carried out on 194 papers. Typical problems with the requirement that these courses have brought about include lack of relevance to the objective of the project. So what this is trying to say is like, now your client has told you what you want, but they did not really, like, they didn't make it like a top priority. They did not make it known to you that this thing is a top priority. They just say it as, okay, maybe they just say it for saying sake. They did not state that, okay, this thing is very keen to the development of this project. So that is lack of relevance. Because I mean, you as a business, you might also feel like, okay, since they didn't clamor about it, they didn't make this an important thing. I mean, it might not really mean that it's really important. So lack of clarity in wordings. I mean, documentation. If your clients don't clarify in proper documentation that this and this is what they need, it is going to be a problem. Because at the end of the day, you might just follow what they say. But when you are now done with the project, they now come out and be like, oh, this is not what we were trying to talk about. This is not this. But because they didn't clarify it in proper documentation, So that's lack of clarity in the wordings. Requirements that assume a solution rather than stating what is to be delivered by the system. I mean, your client, you might just assume that, okay, because there are some people that when they try to do something for you, they will not even allow you land. They will just be like, oh, okay, I think I understand what you're trying to say. And based on the fact that they look at you as, okay, yeah, he's a professional, I mean, he's going to get it. Then you now go and you now come back and do rubbish. Because you didn't, you were not calm enough. You didn't calm down to actually see that, okay, this is what this person needs. Like, you didn't gather their strength, you don't know their strength, you don't know their weaknesses. So you just feel like, okay, this is what you do. Okay, I understand what and what needs to be done, which is going to be a problem. Uncertainty among business users about what they need from the system. So when you are proposing a particular product, or rather when a company says that, okay, I think we need to test new like software for our program. I mean, they don't know what the software is all about, but they just feel like, okay, let us, because everybody is doing it, let us do it so that we too might not be like, oh yeah, we are not following the trend, or we are not hopping on new things. Like, they don't know what they want. So that's actually a problem, because before you call a business analyst, you should have like a clear plan, or okay, this is what and what that needs to be done. You understand? So business users failing to identify all the requirements. So what this is talking about is talking to number two, which is lack of clarity in the wordings. So they don't tell you everything. They just tell you that, okay, this is what you need to do. It's just like now you are building a car. I'm still going to be using this, still going to be referring to this car thing. So you are building a car now. Now they tell you, okay, you are supposed to build a car. They don't tell you if the car is supposed to be manual, if the car is supposed to be automatic. So they just tell you that, okay, you know what, build a car for us. Then again, even when it comes to the design of the car, you are not sure if it's going to be like a normal door to the car, or maybe like a convertible, or probably like a covered roof. So all those little details that they fail to, impute is going to be a problem. It's just like I said now, details, inconsistent level of detail. If your document is not detailed enough, if you don't give the business analyst proper documentation in detail that this is what you want, then it is going to be a problem. So business users and analysts taking certain knowledge for granted and failing to ensure that there is a common understanding. Just like I said about the first one, there are some times that you and your clients are discussing, and they just say something and they be like, oh yeah, it's for jokes. But lo and behold, it's not for jokes. But then again, both of you just look at it as, okay, yes, it's for jokes, and you, the business analyst, will take those kind of things for granted, because you feel like, I mean, the way you said it was not like you were serious about it. So I don't think I too should just include it in whatever we are doing. I hope that is the problems with the requirements is clear enough. Please indicate, because I also like when this is like an interactive class. I don't like when I'm just the one, talking and talking and talking. So just let me know if you are like you clearly understand what I'm trying to say. Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. Okay, so let's keep moving. So the problem, this is also another problem. See, clearly defined terms of reference are essential to ensure that everyone involved in defining the requirements understands the objective, scope, and constraints within which the project is to be carried out. A useful mnemonic for these terms of reference is OSCAR. This stands for objective, scope, constraint, authority, and resources. So objective, both business and project objectives should be defined. So from the start, from the beginning phase, both the client and the business analyst should be on the same page. They should be in sync. So there should be proper documentation. The client should be like, okay, this is what I need from you. If you are building a house, if I want to build a house, let me know if it's a duplex you want to build. Let me know if it's a bungalow you want to build. So I don't end up just building a house, and when I'm done, you now come back and say, oh, okay, this is not what I expected from you. Because from the start, there was no clear objectives definition. So the scope, the aspects to be covered typically defined by specifying the activities and deliverables of the project, as well as the functional areas to be included. It is equally important to specify those areas not to be covered in order to guard against scope creep during the exercise. So the scope is the details in what you are supposed to do. Now, you're supposed to build a house. It's going to be a bungalow house. How many rooms is the house going to have? How many bathrooms? How many is it going to have, like a garage? Is it going to have like a garden? Is it going to have like, like a recreational area even inside the house? Is it going to have like a movie theater? Is it going to have like, games room and all of that? So those aspects need to be covered in the documents you are providing for the business analyst. You understand? So you just don't end up just doing anything. So the constraints, then again, it talks about the budget, time scale, and standard to which the project must adhere. So there must be a particular time that, okay, give me a time frame. In so and so time, this should be done. In so and so time, this should be done. So that it's not like you're just telling me, okay, you know what? Just give me time. I'm going to be done. I mean, you did not specify that this is the time that you need. It's just like, say, okay, you are talking to like a designer now, and it tells you, okay, you know what, I need to come up with a logo. Then the person tells you, okay, how long would it take? Okay, yes, you are the expert. You know that, okay, this coming up with a logo, I mean, it should not be more than like a week and everything, because of the color, the patterns. Then should be able to, describe what your logo entails. So you just tell the person, you know what, give me a week. But that you have already put a time to that. It's not like I just tell the person, you know what, just give me time. I'm going to do it. Everybody is just wasting their time, because you just end up faffing around and not doing quality work. So authority, the business authority for the project, thus ensuring that there is an ultimate arbiter to handle any conflicts between business users and their requirements. The authority is also responsible for accepting the deliverables from the project. So this is like, it should be like a middleman that is going to be able to, resolve any issues, not like, more or less like issues, that is just going to clarify things between both parties or between the users and their documents. So when you are telling me, okay, I want to build a house, I don't want you to come back and tell me that, oh, okay, we are supposed to build a duplex, but we are building a bungalow. Let us be clear so that we don't have, there should not be a miscommunication. Let us be clear that, okay, this is what you want. So you don't just when the project is now ongoing, you now come in the middle of the project, you now be like, oh, okay, this is not what I expected you to do. This is not what I expected you to do. So the authority there is the one that is going to, clarify things between your clients and what they need. So resources. These are the tools required for the project. The people and the equipment available to the project. These are the tools, the people, just like it is clearly stated here. So requirements are often overlooked because they are omitted by business users. This is usually an oversight rather than mischief, and results from a belief that the need is so self-evident that they take it for granted, that the analyst will understand that. You see what I was saying? That you cannot just assume that, okay, Shebi is a professional, he's meant to know. And most professionals too, they end up shooting themselves in the leg because they don't calm down to get all the details right. They just be like, oh, okay, this way, okay, don't worry, I have an idea. I have an idea. Forgetting that you need to get the specifics right before you now say, okay, yes, you want to move forward with the project. The business analyst is the person who must help the business staff to visualize precisely what they need the new system to perform and then to articulate it. So as you can see, there's just what I said. So, okay. Let's move. So, a framework for requirement engineering. In the same way, from the introduction, I told you there's something that we call requirement engineering. So this is like a framework. So in the same way that software engineers suggest a more structured and scientific approach to the development of software than is implied by the older terms, programming. So requirement engineering contains a more disciplined and rigorous approach to requirement definition. The business analyst must understand and document requirements carefully in order to avoid the mistakes and oversights identified above. To achieve this, the business analyst should follow a roadmap that guides them through the key steps required to develop a well-defined project. I said I made mention when I was talking about the introduction, I made mention of like there is a blueprint, there is a guideline. So the business analyst should read thoroughly, you must understand the document thoroughly before he can progress or move forward in anything that he wants to do. If he does not understand it, there is no way he might just end up doing what the client does not want. So this is requirements engineering framework. Use the framework for requirement engineering. We have requirement elicitation, requirement analysis, requirement validation, documentation, and requirement management. So we're going to be talking about all of this moving forward. So what is requirement elicitation? Another name for requirement elicitation is like requirement gathering or requirement capturing. So before you start a project, you must know that, okay, you must understand the business as a whole. Okay, what do they do? How can what they are trying to propose help their business? So all those information it needs to be gathered, needs to be collected for you to be able to progress in the business. So let's move. Let's read. It said in the early days of system analysis, these activities was often known as requirement capture, which is capturing, gathering. The word capture implies the existence of discrete entities called requirements that were readily available to be spotted and caught. In those days, most IT projects were concerned with developing IT systems that will perform the tasks carried out by people, most clerical staff, or those front desk and the likes. So to that extent, each task performed by a person could be regarded as requirements or sets of requirements to be delivered by the system. So requirement capture was not an unreasonable term to be used. Nowadays, the explanation for developing or enhancing IT systems include a need to help the organization gain a competitive advantage to support new or re-engineered business processes or to install an enabling infrastructure. So it's just like as I was saying, you must gather all the right and adequate information before you are supposed to move forward. So it's not like maybe because everybody are doing this thing and you want to jump on it. You don't know if it will work for your organization. Just like the same way, it's not everybody that a particular hairstyle is going to fit. Oh, because everybody are going on dreads and doing everything, does not mean if you go on dreads too, it's going to fit you. So just because is what is out there does not mean it might be right for your business. So that's why there is this requirement gathering, this requirement capturing. It is good. It serves as, okay, yes, understanding what the business needs properly. So when devising the strategy for elicitation for any given project, one consideration to take into account is the type of knowledge that the stakeholders are using. And when it comes to knowledge, we have tacit knowledge and explicit knowledge. And when we talk about tacit knowledge are the unspoken. You understand? They are the knowledge that, okay, yes, I have the knowledge of this, but I don't know how I'm going to, pass it on. So they are those unspoken words, unspoken knowledge. So let's say, when developing a new system, the business users will pass on their explicit knowledge, which is what they know, what is required. Their explicit knowledge, their knowledge of the procedures and the data that is at the front of their minds. That's, like I said, what they know, like what is required of the business analysts and what they need to do, and which they can easily articulate. By tacit knowledge, which means those other aspects of the work that a stakeholder is unable to articulate or explain, is unable to pass it on. Examples of organizational tacit knowledge include norms and behavior and communication. So now, as a business analyst, you are supposed to understand the organization as a whole, the behavior, like what goes on in the organization, that this and this is what has, it's just like the normal thing now that is supposed to happen. So like, okay, now when somebody asks you, okay, what is your daily routine? Oh, okay, I wake up in the morning, maybe I eat first before I brush my mouth, or I brush my mouth before I eat first. So that person needs to understand everything properly. So he said these evolve over time in every organization. Any new processes or system that threatens to conflict with these norms may face resistance. And what does this mean? It's like when they are not used to a particular thing. It's just like now when a organization that they are allowed to dress as they like. You understand? Okay, yes, just come in comfy, just with what you know is comfy with you, and just come to work in as much as you're doing the work. Then somebody comes and says, okay, no, I don't like the way everybody is just looking one way, they're not looking professional. So everybody must start to wear a suit and tie. It's going to be a problem because something that they are not used to. And you just tell somebody, oh, okay, you just come and wear, okay, let me use myself as an example. When I started working, when I was still doing IT, like my IT final became, and I started working in a proper organization. So this kind of person that I'm used to just wearing, the sneakers, sandals, just wear your round neck, your jersey, and come to the office. Then one day my boss was like, you can't be dressing like this to an organization. You have to start wearing suit and tie. You have to dress corporate. I'm like, sir, this corporate is not for me. Oh. Well, he said you have to. So because you can see, it's not something I was used to. So when he now came at me, he was like, hey, this man on the wine me that I'm already used to dressing like this. So that's just how it is. So you must understand what they are being used to. So you will now find a way to butter them up or incorporate whatever you want to incorporate in the organization. Then it talks about organizational culture. The culture of an organization can be expressed through the behavior of the management and staff. the analyst needs to consider what the behavior says about the culture of the organization and ensure that it's taken into consideration when considering any business. So it's similar with the behavior, the norms and behavior of the organization. So you must understand how the organization works, like the culture, what they do in the organization, before you can now say, okay, this is what I propose should be done or can improve this and this in your organization. We have organizational stories. There will be there will always be a shared history of events that have happened in the past. Some of this history may relate to the project that failed or succeeded in some more spectacular fashion, about which stories and in-jokes may have grown over the years. There could be important lesson to learn from this history, but they are only known by word of mouth. So an analyst from outside may not be aware of this knowledge and may make a mistake as a result. So if you don't know the backstory or the background of the organization you are trying to work with, it is definitely going to be a problem in trying to implement or bring something new to them. Okay, so let me give you an example. So you see most of these elderly people, right? They were not the computer age kind of thing. So imagine somebody that's an elderly person that has like a supermarket or like maybe this small kiosk or something, and you are telling the person, okay, do you know that you can infuse technology in whatever you're doing? Like have an Instagram page, have like a social media page that you can post all these things that people even get to order from you online. And you just say that, me, what do I understand? What do I know about phone? What do I know about computer? Maybe my phone is just to say hello, this and that. People might just laugh it off as a joke. I'm like, okay, this one is just joking. But as a business analyst, you need to put your ears to ground and listen to those kind of things. So you'll be able to know where to come in and help that particular person or that organization. So he talks about formal and informal network. There are discrete groups of workers who may be related by task or by department, by geographical location, or some factors. They have their own sets of experience, norms, and practices, and these are distinct from other groups within the organization. They are not reflected in the organization as a whole. If a system development project involves cross-functional requirements or is company-wide, then the understanding of the network is an important part of the elicitation process, which is the capturing process. So what is it trying to understand? Now, imagine a company, an organization where we have like these people who are hybrid workers and people who are full on-site workers. So now the hybrid workers is not every time that they come to the office. So when a change is going to happen, it is the on-site workers that will know of it first before the hybrid workers. So probably maybe the on-site workers have now they are gradually, embracing it. Then the person that has not been in the office for God knows how long, that comes to the office one day and sees a new change. And he'll be like, from where to where? What's happening? Where did all this come from? You understand all those kind of questions, lots and lots that because he was not aware. So he's going to be like, oh, he back and forth and this. So as a business analyst, when you know that, okay, these people, they have on-site, they have hybrid people. So it is now your job to now propose a decision and be like, okay, you know what? If we are incorporating something new, don't let just the on-site people know about it. Also, let the offside. Let's put everybody in a meeting. Let us tell them that, okay, this is what and what we want to be doing moving forward. So that it does not be like when somebody comes, I'm like, where did this come from? How did it happen? You understand? So I don't know if do you understand what I'm trying to say? And if you are clear, please just let me know. And if anybody has any questions from what we've discussed up to you now, you can just drop it in the chat box or raise your hand and ask. I'm willing to answer any of your questions. So some common elements to this unspoken knowledge that causes problem and misunderstanding are skills. Now, explaining how to carry out actions using word alone is extremely difficult. For example, consider how you might convey the correct sequence of actions that will be necessary to turn right at the roundabout of a dual carriage. Okay, that will be necessary. For example, to turn right at the roundabout of a dual carriageway. This would include every touch or release of the pedal. In correct sequence, every check of your mirror, every gear change, every turn of the wheel with the degree of the turn. To, to build an automated vehicle. Before I even move forward, let me just explain what this is trying to talk about. Now, you see, there are some things that are already inbuilt in you that is like a reflex for you. That is your everyday thing, is something you are being used to. Just like what this example was trying to say now. Imagine somebody driving and you get to like a bend or like you want to turn at a roundabout. You know, because you're experienced in that field, it's something that you've been doing on a regular basis. You know that when you get to this bend or when you get to this roundabout, you have to slow down. And even when you are slowing down, probably if it's a sharp bend, like and it's a two-way road, when you are coming, you have to like press your horn so that maybe the person coming might know, someone coming might know that, oh yeah, there's a car coming. So you see all those kind of things. It's not something that or it's something rather that it is in your head already. You pressing the horn before you go to a sharp bend is alerting your person that, okay, yes, I'm coming, so as to avoid accidents. And when it comes to like a roundabout, you know that, okay, yes, I'm supposed to slow down. The speed I was coming with is not what I'm supposed to use to turn. And when I'm turning, I have to check both my mirrors. Okay, anybody behind me, anybody beside me that just wants to, swerve and just come up in my front. So that is a skill that is inbuilt. That is something that is your everyday thing. So he said this will include every touch. Okay, to build an automated vehicle that could travel along roads without a driver, we would need all this information. All those like self-driving cars. When I used to make a joke that all those kind of cars, they cannot work in Nigeria. All those, they are the likes of them Tesla that do all those like kind of cars. I'll be like, I cannot work in Nigeria. I used to make a joke that I cannot work in Nigeria because imagine a road where, because Nigeria is a place that nothing causes traffic, but we just know that there is traffic. Nothing causes it, but we just know that there is traffic. So imagine you now trying to create a self-driving car and you did not I don't even know how you want to say you want to put all those informations, only if you are trying to just use like the information that a Google map is going to give you and just input it in the car. Be like, okay, yes, when at this also and so there's traffic. If not, if all those informations are not put in building that automated vehicle, it will not work, and that car might just end up having an accident because it does not know which speed that is supposed to go in this place, does not know which particular speed is supposed to go, does not know, okay, when you are going through a bend or you're turning, you have to reduce your speed and all of that. So it's in to all this information to be specified in details. In practice, an experienced human driver would not be able to explain this accurately during an interview, largely because they perform this task without having to rationalize each step. Just like I said, it's because it's something that you have been doing. It is like a reflex for you. Just like somebody wants to hit you now, it's a reflex for you to, safeguard yourself, protect yourself. So that's just how it is. Their bodies and limbs know what to do without the intervention of a conscious thought. So taking for granted information. Even experienced and expert business owners may fail to mention information or clarify terminology, and the analyst may not realize that further questioning is required. For example, I'm still going to go back to the issue of the making of a car or the building of a car. Now, you want to build a car. Are you building an SUV or like a normal car? Is the car going to be a convertible or like a closed roof? Are the doors going to be normal doors or butterfly doors? You know all those butterfly doors, that the doors that go up, like all those, the likes of the Ferrari and the Lambos kind of thing. So all these things, they are information that need to be, given and stated in the documentation, in the documents rather, that this is what we need. So that it's not now be like at the end of the day, because I didn't mention it, he is meant to know, he's a professional, he's meant to know that I'm building this type of car. So obviously it's supposed to have a butterfly door. Obviously it's supposed to be automatic. Obviously it's supposed to be manual. But if you don't document that process, don't just assume that nobody knows everything. Don't just assume that this person will know it. So that's it for taking for granted information. So we have front story, back story. The issues concern a tendency to frame a description of current working practice or a workplace in order to give a more positive view than is that in order to give a more positive view than is actually the case. The business user may do this in order to avoid reflecting bad on the staff or the organization. So what this is trying to talk about, there are sometimes that when we are talking with the clients, they tend to withhold information. They don't give you all the information that you need because they feel like, if you tell him about this now, might not look at it and be like, you people are not serious. Or why do you people allow this kind of thing? So they tend to withhold information. And those information that is being withheld can cause a problem in the process of the project. Because you are felt like, okay, let me just say this, let me paint myself like this good person, like this good organization, like this sense. For example, there was a time that I read on the news that Amazon, that's Jeff Bezos, he was underpaying his staff. And that was because and those staffs could not come out to complain. I'm sure maybe there was like an interview that just went around that just made that thing blew up. Say he was underpaying his staff. And the reason why those people could not come out to complain was because most of them were people that don't have papers. So imagine someone that does not have paper and working for like a big genge organization. Any amount they pay you collect, because you can't come out and say, oh, you are being paid this, because do you want to go back to your country? You will not want to go back to your country. So you just have to stay there and keep mute. So, but in the outer part, you'll be like, people working in Amazon, they'll be collecting big money, they'll be doing this, they'll be doing that. Whereas that is not the full story. So that's what this is trying to talk about. If you don't give the business analyst a full story without taking back or withdrawing any information, any important information, it might be a problem moving forward. So we have conceptualizing requirements. If the study is required to examine a new business system and there is a lack of expertise and knowledge in the organization, it is very difficult for the business stakeholders to imagine what they require the solution to offer. We cannot ask them to demonstrate any existing process or procedures, and yet it is important that we draw from them what they need the solution to provide. So if the business owner, just like I said, does not know what the new system will bring for him, there is going to be a problem. Because like I said earlier, it's not like saying, it's not by saying, oh, everybody is doing this, is doing that, let's hop on it, let's do it too, let's incorporate it into our business. You don't know if it will work for you. You've not tested it out anywhere. You as a person, you've not even said, okay, let me even sit down and think back. What would this do? What would this do? But you just feel like, oh, because everybody is doing it and we too we can do it. But that is not how it is supposed to be. So let's move forward. So I was explaining the tacit knowledge and the explicit knowledge. See, when it comes to individual, it has to do with the skills, the values, taking for granted knowledge, and everything. And when it comes to the explicit part, it talks about task definition, job description, targets, volumes, and frequency. So you can see when it comes to individual, it talks about something that, oh yeah, this tacit. You've not forgotten that are the unspoken knowledge. Knowledge that people don't know how they want to relate it to somebody. Why the explicit is something is the clear one, is the one that, okay, yes, this is what I want from you. That's why you can see task definition, job description. Those are the things that, okay, yes, it is easy. It is at the front of your mind. It is something that, yes, I can easily tell somebody, okay, yes, this is how you are supposed to do it. This is how you are supposed to do it. So when it comes to corporates, that's where we have the norms, the backstory, the culture, network organization, networks, and the organization history. That's for the tacit. The norms in the sense that, okay, this is how we do it. We don't want anybody to come and scatter what we have been doing. But when they ask you, oh, do you think this will work? Oh, yes, it will work. Whereas instead of you to just come out and say, I don't think this will work. I don't know how I want to put it, but I don't think this will work. But because you don't know how you want to explain it to that particular person, so you just relax and take it in. So when it comes to the explicit, we have the procedures, we have the style guides, we have the processes, we have the knowledge sharing, we have the repositories. The repositories are all like, for every organization is supposed to have like a repository that, okay, yes, in case somebody leaves an organization today, when you are employing somebody, just go there and take from what and read or see what the previous person has done and move on from there. That's repository. We have the manuals, we have the company reports. So you see, tacit knowledge must be made more explicit. To do this, we need to choose techniques to assist business users to articulate their tacit knowledge. Once they have articulated the tacit knowledge, we need to make this knowledge explicit by documenting it and disseminating it to other members of the project team. So if I have like an idea in my head now, and I don't know how I want to put it out, the job of a business analyst, come, let us bring that idea to life. Let us put it into documentation. Just tell me what is going on in your head, and let's see if we can visualize it. So that when another person comes or another person takes over from you, the person already has a guideline to how we're supposed to do something in the organization. So we have requirement elicitation techniques. There are numbers of best practices techniques available to the analyst to help elicit tacit knowledge and requirements from all levels of the organization. This process of eliciting tacit knowledge shown below identify approaches for uncovering tacit knowledge. These approaches include, we have the apprentice approach, which is you are shadowing. You just like all this intent that, okay, yes, let me learn from this person. There's an orga, so there's an intent that comes under, say, okay, let me learn from what this person is doing. And even if the person does not tell me this is what he's doing, once I'm seeing what the person is doing, I will be able to do it also. And when somebody asks me, I can say, okay, yes, this is how this person did it. Because there are some people that they know particular thing, but they don't know how to pass it on. So, but they just tell you, okay, you know what, watch me as I do it. And that is how other people learn. But if you don't ask them, you know, explain this to me, they are unable to explain it. So that's apprenticeship. We have observe. So just like an intern, you sit down, you observe what or how the person is doing a particular job. Then you learn from it. You can say that shadowing is saying observe. Observation method. You sit down, you observe, you learn from it. So this recounts storytelling scenario. So now you've learned like a little from it. They now ask you, okay, so how do you think, if we ask you, how do you think we can do this? You can, and then you cannot be like, okay, if we were to do this in this way, it will give us this. If let me create a scenario for you now. If we were to have like a big farm here, so you understand, the person is now able to come up with something because he has shadowed, and he has observed. So when it now comes to the enact, that's let us test it. Let us see how it is going to play in like a scenario. Just like now, all these programmers, before they actually push their app or everything, there's always live testing. They always do series of tests. They'll be like, okay, before we even push it out to the public, let us know if this will actually work or it will not work. So those are the techniques for requirement elicitation. So now we have requirement analysis. From the name, you should know what requirement analysis is talking about. So they said once a set of requirements has been elicited, which means that has been gathered or captured and entered onto the requirement list, that's the document. The next step in the requirement engineering framework can begin. This involves analyzing the individual requirements. Requirement analysis is concerned with ensuring that all the requirements identified during requirement elicitation have been developed into clear, organized, well-documented requirements. So all the information you've gathered, you've now kept it in a document in a clear, organized format. The separation of requirement elicitation from requirement analysis is one of the strengths of requirements engineering. Because if you miss the requirements gathering, the analysis is going to be a problem. If you do not get the proper information from the beginning, all the remaining processes is going to be a problem. It's just like a programmer writing a code. If they miss, maybe it's a comma or a letter in the code they are writing, it's definitely going to affect the remaining code, because when they are done, it just comes out and be like, oh yeah, it's showing error. And you keep wondering why it is showing error, not knowing that you've missed a particular maybe a letter or a comma. It's just like even when you want to repeat a password. If you miss a letter or a symbol or a number, his password will keep showing incorrect from now till tomorrow. So the analysts are encouraged during elicitation to draw out information, uncover tacit knowledge, and identify requirements. During analysis, the business analyst examines the results of this work in detail in order to develop the requirement documentation that will take the project forward. You can see they must get all the information right for the project to move forward. At this stage, work is carried out. Many additional questions will be raised, and you may need to investigate the requirements further using requirement elicitation techniques. And what are the techniques? They are the apprentice, they are the observation, they are the enact, and all those ones. So those are the techniques. Thus, a repetitive cycle of requirement elicitation and analysis develops. So requirement analysis includes the following task. We have categorizing the requirements. As a first pass at the analysis, the requirements should be categorized into specific requirement types. There are 4 major types of requirements: general, technical, functional, and non-functional requirements. Further subgrouping may be by business area or function, or possibly by use case. Grouping requirements this way may help the analyst to examine the related requirements as a logical group. So what this is trying to say is, now you've gathered those information. Let us now categorize it. And when I mean categorize, now I'm still going to go back to the issue of building a car. You want to build a car. You've gathered information concerning the engine of the car. You've gathered information concerning how you want the door to be. You've gathered information concerning the size of the tires. You've gathered information concerning the body of the car. That is the design. Now, those information now, you can now put them in separate categories, which is, okay, now, The engine category. What kind of engine do you want it to be? Is it a V6, V6? Is it a V8 engine? How many horsepower is going to be would the engine have? When it comes to the tires, what kind of tire? What size of tires? What rim? What kind of rims are we going to use? That's in another category. When it comes to the door, what kind of doors do we want? What kind of windows will be on the door? So when it comes to the body, how slick do you want the design to be? What color do you want the body to be? So those are in different categories. Now this helps checks for completeness of requirements and makes it easier for business stakeholders to validate a particular set of requirements. So drawing is a set of models that reflects the requirements that have been elicited. These models provide a check that is set that that provides that the set is complete, logical, and no requirements have been omitted. So what is it trying to tell us? That okay, now you've gathered all the information, you've categorized it. After categorizing it, you've now seen that okay, in this category, everything required to build the engine is intact. Nothing is being omitted. Nothing is being removed. Nothing is being like, okay, yes, they are not sure if they want to take it, if they want to proceed or they don't want to proceed. So everything is intact in every category of the documents. So let's move forward. So we have requirement validation. Validation, you already know what validation is, but so once the analysts have completed the analysis activity and have deemed the requirements document to be complete and correct, the business and the project representative need to confirm that the document provides an accurate statement of the requirements. A review group is formed that will be responsible for checking the requirement documents and confirming its sustainability. Once the reviewer has been identified, the requirement document should be issued for review. Now, you've gathered the information, you've categorized it, you've analyzed it, everything. So now you've now taken it back to the business, to your clients. There is now a board that will now be like, okay, yes, you've gathered all the right information, you've categorized it well. But there are now specific people in the organization that now be like, okay, I think this is good to go, or I think this needs more work in this category, this category. Those are the people that validate it and be like, okay, yeah, you know what, it is good for a go, or there are still some work that needs to be done. So the review group must include representatives from the key stakeholder groups, and different representatives will review different aspects of the requirements. As much as your department is involved, each department would be able to review that, okay, yes, this works well with our department, this works well with our department. So these are the people that will be on the validation board. We have the reviewers should include the following representatives. We have the business sponsors. The business sponsor should review the documents to ensure that the requirements are all in alignment with the business objective and do not address areas that are outside the scope. Like I said, in the document, if the person has told you, the client has told you, okay, yes, we are building a bungalow, and you're now bringing back documents for you to validate, and it's saying that there is a duplex there, there is going to be a problem because it is not aligning with what the set from the beginning. So we have the business owners. The business owners of the individual requirements or their representatives should review the requirement to ensure that they express the business needs clearly and correctly without ambiguity. It is the business representative's responsibility and their last opportunity to be satisfied with the requirement before accepting them. So this one, clearly, this business owner is just like, okay, yes, you've gathered all the right information. Yes, it goes with the objective of the organization. Yes, everything, all the categories that you've placed it in is correct, or it is not correct. You need to make some changes here. It's not like you're just writing a document that, okay, you know what, everything is in order. did not categorize it well. Everything is in order, so it's just left for you to review. If he sees that everything is not well documented, he's going to send you back for you to now document it properly. So we have the subject matter expert. The subject matter expert should review the requirements to ensure that they reflect correct business practices. Like I said, each department, each person, each department will you are going to check if this sits well with them and how it is going to move the organization. Because if their department does not feel like, okay, this is good enough, you go back and do it again. So obviously the developer should review the documents to ensure that they are technically feasible, that it's something that can actually work, not something that is just like on document. I'll be like, I'm not sure this thing will work. That is something that it can actually work. The tester should review the requirements to ensure that they are testable. Yes, when you've done it, let us see if it is something that can actually test. It's not that maybe on the day that you want to launch it, now be like, oh yeah, there's a technical problem, there's a glitch somewhere, there's this, there's that, when it comes to things like that. Also, we have the project office representative. Project office representative should ensure that the requirements are compliance rather with business standards and policies, and that correct quality review procedures has been followed. So what this one is saying is you have the document or the project you are trying to proceed with is actually has it met a particular standard and is compliant with that. It's not like maybe there's a copyright infringement, or maybe you went to copy somebody's work. So this person is one that is going to check if every of the business standards is, or the requirement of the document is being compliant with the business standards. I hope everybody is following me. Just let me know if you are following before we can move forward. So it's not just be like at the end of the day, we're just talking and talking and talking. Okay, that's very good. That's very good. Taiwo. Okay, there are three possible outcomes to review. Outcomes to a review. The requirement document is confirmed as a satisfactory statement of the business requirements. Once the document has been agreed, it is signed off or baseline, which is it is either signed off or it is sent back for rework or remodeling, anything. So the second one says the requirement documents require some amendments, and once this has been completed, can be signed off by the review chairperson. This is typically the business sponsor, like I said. Then thirdly, the requirement document needs significant rework and should be reviewed again once this network has been carried out. Once the document has been signed off, any subsequent changes should be subject to formal change management. You understand? So, like, if you did not get it right from the beginning, they will now send you back. Just like I said, if the plan was to create a bungalow and you come back with a duplex proposal, you will now go back and now do the document for a bungalow all over again. Means look at all the time that has been wasted. You know that that was part of the problems that we stated earlier. The timing of the project. If you did not get it right, or look at all the time that has been wasted, all because of you didn't get proper information right from the beginning. The outcome of the review should be an agreement that the entire document, the entire requirement document is complete, consistent, conformant, and a true reflection of what the business requires to be delivered. That means you've gotten all the requirements that you need to get. So we have now, when it comes to agile approach to requirement, we have two types of approach. We have the agile approach and we have the waterfall. And we have the waterfall approach. So basically, what is the waterfall approach? The waterfall approach is the kind of approach that this one does not, like, it does not require stress. It's something that they will just give you a document, or everything is documented in the document. Your own is now to go and go on and proceed with the project. Once you proceed with the project, at the end of the project, that's when they will now come back and be like, oh, okay, I think there was supposed to be something in this thing. There's supposed to be something. Just like now, I'm still going to use the this thing of a car. I mean, I could use anything, but of a car or a building, they've given you a guideline on how the car should be. So now you've made the car, you've done everything. So when you now bring the finished product back, you now be like, okay, this is the car, but I think there are still some changes that needs to be made. You understand? That is the waterfall approach. It is after the project is being the project is being done that they now come to validate it. But for the agile approach, it is every step of the way. If it is for the door of the house, let us know the kind of door you want to use. Fire resistant, bulletproof. If you like a wooden door or a metal door. When it comes to the inside of the house, are you using a carpet or tiles or rug? So it is step by step. That one is even easier because that way there is no room for mistakes when the project has ended. Because at the end of the project, you will know that you've gotten all the requirements step by step. It's just like holding your hand, step by step of the way for you finishing that project. Unlike the waterfall approaches, after you are done with the project. So if you see it here, agile on the other hand follows a practice of evolving the requirements during development so much of the detail is not specified in advance. However, it is a good practice to have a definition of the requirement at a level that enables the agile development to commence. This requires a set of requirements to be selected for development within a defined time box. Despite the less detailed nature of the requirements definition, it is important to use the requirements engineering framework to ensure that the requirements are clear and meet the quality criteria described earlier. So that requirement framework, as you said, we have from the requirement elicitation, the requirement analysis, we have the requirement validation. So all those processes, you must follow it step by step so as not to miss anything. So as not so that it's not be like when you're now done with the project, now tell you, Oga, it's just like now you are doing a logo now. The person just told you that, okay, you know what, I'm into catering. Okay, you want to do a logo, that's okay. I'm into catering. Okay, that's all the information I need. Then you now go and make a logo when it comes to catering, that speaks to that catering. Then you now bring the finished product back. The person now be like, it's a catering logo, but also can you help me add like a chef's hat or like a spatula, but you have already finished it. But if it was to be the agile approach, you people will come to understand, okay, how do you want the logo to be? Does it need to have like a spatula? Does it need to have like a spoon? Does it need to have like a chef's hat? Or does it have like a dish? Like all these dish plates. You understand? So that way, when the finished product comes out, it meets the standard of the business user or your clients. Oh, sorry. So, in summary, requirement engineering is the approach by which we ensure that the process of understanding and documenting the business requirements is rigorous and it ensures the traceability of each requirement. So that way, this traceability of each requirement, it means that even when there's a mistake, you can quickly go back and say, okay, at what stage was this mistake made? What did they miss from the making of this thing? So that because it is being categorized, you know that, okay, yes, the engine, okay, we said it was a V8 engine, but why is it a V6 engine? And be like, oh, that's what he said. No, okay, let's go back and look at the document again. Okay, you can see it clearly states here, it's a V8 engine. So that way you can it's traceable. So you know where the mistake or the error is coming from. This chapter has considered the requirement engineering stage of elicitation analysis, which feeds back into the elicitation and validation. All of these stages contribute to the production of a rigorous, complete requirement document. The core of this document is a repository of individual requirement that is developed and managed and provide the basis for deciding upon business and software changes, where organization place insufficient emphasis on defining requirements. It is to the detriment of the implemented solution and can leave business stakeholders unable to do their job effectively. Requirement engineering is an approach by which we can deliver solution that truly meets business needs. So you can see here, it says, if you read it, like say, requirement engineering is an approach by which we can deliver solution that truly meets business needs. Means we have truly met the needs of the clients. So this is the end of the lesson. So now we have to go to the practical aspects, which talks about the use of Canva. Please, I hope you all can still see my screen. Please, if you can see my screen, indicate. Okay, all right. Thank you, Peter. Okay, yes, thank you very much. Thank you very much. So now we are moving to Canva. Okay, before I even move to Canva, does anybody have any questions regarding the business analysis, the requirement engineering process that we spoke about? Please let me know in the chat box if anybody has like any questions from the business analysis requirements gathering. Any questions? Any questions? Anybody? Any questions? Okay, okay. So in spite of, so since there are no questions, do you all agree that we can proceed with the Canva section now? Okay, 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 Lawa, okay, no problem, okay, no problem. So this aspect is something is, as I'm telling you about it, I'll also go to my Canva and show you what it is. So it's not just be like I'm just telling you about it and not actually show you. And I'll show you some of the finished designs of you designing on Canva. Okay, so this is the Canva user guide, and these are all we're going to be speaking on when it comes to Canva. So what is Canva? So what is Canva? So Canva is an easy to use graphic design platform that allows you to create visual content, including social media graphics, posters, flyers, and more. And it is available to use in your browser. So you can see logging into Canva, check your home. So let's now go to Canva itself so we can see what it looks like. Okay, so this is the Canva interface. This is the Canva interface. Once again.
Hello, Bodo.
Yeah.
Please, we can't see your screen.
Okay, you can't see my screen. Oh, my bad. Okay, let me stop sharing and share again then. So sorry about that. Oh, okay. So here is pause. Okay, let me stop sharing. Then I will share my screen again. Okay. This is. So, can you all see my screen now? Okay, it's loading. Okay, can you all see my screen now?
Yes.
Somebody says, Loretta says she can't hear me. Can you hear me now, Loretta? Because I think I'm pretty audible enough. Okay, so Semi says can hear and see. And Peter is saying he's experiencing. Okay, that's good. That's good. So everybody can hear me and see me now. So this is the Canva interface on web. I mean, there is the app version, but I always prefer to use the web version. So this is the Canva interface on web. This is how it is. So let's move back to this. Hold on a minute. So can you still see my screen? I'm back to the documents.
You are still on Canva.
Okay, I'm still on Canva.
Yeah.
Okay, let me switch. Okay, hold on. Okay, I would I would need to just explain Canva first before going into the app itself. So let me just do this instead. So can you all see my screen now? So I'm back to the documents.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay. Somebody was saying I should. Uh, okay. That was not for me. That was not for me then. Okay. So as you can see, this is the Canva interface. Choosing a template, you go to the template bar, which is where the arrow is right here. Then you click on it. Then you select your preferred template of your choice. So on the screen templates, all this I'm just going to explain to you. So then we will now go into like the practical work. I show you how it is done, and I also show you some of the finished products from it. So is that on the template screen, choose a template you want to use and click on it. Select use this template, and a copy of that template will be made on a new window. So this is a new window where it's going to take you to, and each of these numbers that are being numbered are the tools that you should know how to use on Canva. So number one says the elements. Number one, you can see the elements. In the elements, you can select photos, frames, shapes, lines, and so on, and even like blurry image and so on. On the elements, you can select any of those things. So when it comes, number two says the text tab. So the text tab, beyond the text placeholders already available to you, the text tab gives you option to add additional preformatted text. Okay, so Victor is asking, so the name of the app is Canva. If you can hear me, Victor, the name of the app is Canva. And it has a mobile version and it has a web version. So number two, I'm still talking about the text. So to add additional preformatted text head, subhead, and body text, there are also font combinations available. So there are lots of fonts on Canva that you can pick from. And before I move forward, I always like to say this, so it's not be like, oh, you were showing us one thing and we don't have another thing. So I always advise people to get the paid version of Canva. That way it makes your life easier. Because if you are using the free version of Canva, you are limited. Because there are some pictures or there are some graphics that you might want to pick on Canva, but because you are using the free version, Canva will watermark those pictures. That's why you see some pictures they have the Canva watermark on the body. But once you are using the paid version, excuse me, once you're using the paid version, those watermarks don't appear. So you have access to everything on Canva. So we have the number 3 says we have the background tab. Background tab, we have the colors are available just below the search bar, while there are varieties of patterns, landscape, and other background of your choice. That background, they are plain colors, they are gradient colors, they are pattern colors, they are even like realistic backgrounds that you can use, like mountains and the likes, and oceans and the likes that you can use. So number 4 is the upload tab. So this upload tab is, you already have a picture. So the upload tabs, what it does now is, since some people are using the free version of Canva, and there are some pictures that will be already watermarked. So you can just go to Google, download a picture that is not watermarked. You understand? Download a picture that does not have a watermark, and you now come to Canva to upload it, to use it for whatever you want to use it for. So that's what the upload bar does. So you said this area allows you to upload your own elements such as images and graphics. You can see, so such as images and graphics. So number 5, we have the folder. All your designs, favorites, purchase items shared with you and the folder are available. So in this folder, as number 5, which is here in this folder, once you click on the folder, all the projects that you've worked on, all your jobs are saved in this folder. And so one thing I like Canva for is, as you are working, it automatically saves your design. So it's not that maybe when we are working, then your system goes off or something. You not be like, oh, you have to start from the beginning. No. As you work, Canva automatically saves your designs for you, so that when you are back, you will be able to continue from where you stopped. Then we have number 6, which is the home. Takes you back to the home page. If you want to leave this particular page that you have, the home tab takes you back to the home page. That's like the beginning of the Canva app. So we have the file. Create a design, show margin, show print bleed, save all your changes, move to folder, resolve comments, see version history, make a copy, download your design, or look for help. So this file basically is just like your normal file on any app, maybe it's Word, be it Excel. The file where you can see save as, where you can see import, where you can see export, where you can see everything basically. So we have the resize, allows you to change the size of your design. So imagine working on a design and you feel like, okay, this size is not appropriate enough, or is not the size. Okay, now let me give you an example now. You are working on a design for Instagram, but you don't know the size that Instagram posts will actually want. So once you go to the resize, it gives you options. That is a social media post. If you are clicking on a social media, then it gives you more options. Then you see the likes of the YouTube, the likes of the Facebook, likes of LinkedIn, likes of Instagram. Even if it's Instagram story, Instagram reel, so it gives you that at particular size that you want to use it for. So it's not like maybe you are now trying to post on Instagram or LinkedIn, then one place is out of the frame or is not in the frame. So we have number 9, which is all changes saved. Like I said, while Canva automatically saves your design, much like Google Docs and Slides, this feature gives you an opportunity to ensure your changes were saved before closing the platform. So it's just like a two-factor authentication, because I know that some people, they have trust issues in this life. So even if they save it, just like someone that locks, if you use key to lock his door, you see his hand to open it to see if the door will open again. So that's just how it is. Even if Canva automatically saves your design. And you just want to, you yourself, you want to be sure that your design is being saved, then you can now go ahead and save it again by yourself. So number 10 says document name. That's you want to name the document. So you might not end up looking for it in your computer or on your phone. So you just save it with the name that you want. So we have the share. It allows you to share your design with others. This feature gives you the flexibility to adjust restrictions, allowing the video to view and edit. So what this share does is, if you want to just show somebody, like you want to share your design with somebody and you just want the person to view it, you can set it to just view only. But if you want the person to view and edit, that means you want the person to add something, then you can, once you send it to the person, all you just need to do is share the link with the person. Once the person opens it, it automatically takes them to Canva. Then the person can now say, okay, yes, you want to share and edit. I mean, you want to view and edit rather. Like you want to view and edit that, okay, yes. Maybe there are some things that you need to add. And me, I don't know what needs to be added. I might just share it to you, okay, you know what, add the rest. So you can just set it to view and edit. But if you just want the person to view alone, you can just put it to view only. So then you have the download. This feature gives you the options, the different options and format to download your design in. So when you want to download, it gives you the option that you want to download in PNG, you want to download in JPEG, you want to download in PDF, you want to even download as MP4, irrespective of what you are doing. You understand? If it's like a video you are trying to do, then the recommended is going to be MP4. Then if you are doing a video and you want to download, once you click on the download, Canva automatically shows you recommended MP4. If it's like a, what are they calling, like a document, like a 20-page document you are doing, once you want to download, it gives you the option. You see PDF recommended. The recommended icon is always beside it. It just tells you recommended PDF. So then again, we have the publish. It said download your design, share a link, make a presentation, email the design, or share it on social media. Publish basically just like you want to share it all across platforms that you have, be it your social media. Not like you want to save it first and maybe upload it later. But if you just want to upload it straight on, you can go to publish. And it goes to add notes. Yes, you can add notes on your design. Anything that you want to see on your design, you can add it. We have page controls. If you have more than one page, use this area to navigate between them. You also have the ability to copy them and delete them. Yes. If you are just like if you are doing like a PDF. So page controls, you know that your system cannot contain 20-page documents. So that's what it allows you navigate. Okay, this is page 1, this is page 2, this is page 3, this is page 4 of anything you are doing. So we have add a new page. Yes, working on a design, and I'm still going to refer to the PDF. You want to make a PDF. So for each slide, there's something that you want to say. So you at the bottom of your design, you see add a new page. So you click on it, it brings out another new page below. You input whatever you want to input, scroll down again, you see add page, you click on it, it brings out a new page for you. It brings out a new page for you. So anything I want to do is just need to just keep adding, add a new page, add a new page. So we have zoom control. So it says make your work larger or smaller. So imagine like there is a tiny detail that you want to adjust at the edge. I just feel like, okay, you can't see it enough. You can zoom it and adjust what you want to adjust. Then zoom out back and see, okay, yes, I think everything is aligned. It goes well. Then we have the help. Access and use Canva support functionally while still working on a design. If you need help on anything, you just click on the help. It takes you to like a place where it states what you want, what you need help with. So open and edit your design. To find your design, go to the department folder where you saved your design, e.g., whatever you name it with. If it's Division of Student Affairs that you name it, if it's your name that you name it with, the folder is going to bring out everything for you. So double click on the template you selected. the screen will open up, giving you the ability to modify your template. Maybe you found out that, okay, there's something you need to add. So you can just go back, click on it, and it's open it, and all you just need to do is modify the link. I mean, modify your design rather. Modify your design. So using the Canvas sidebar, the search options allows you to look for photos, illustration, or all items. You can narrow your search down to by clicking on photos or illustration. So this the search bar is there. Let me go back so you can see where the search. So this is the search bar. You can see where the search bar is. So if you want a picture or an illustration, you come to elements. There's also a search bar on that element where you can search for whatever image you want. Then it brings it out. So number 2 is elements. Here you find photo, grid, frames, shapes, lines, illustration, icon, charts, and more. You can see this is the element. If you search for hearts, these are the different type of hats. It's going to bring out lots of different type of hats for you, and it's left for you to pick the one that is best suitable for you to use. So it said to select an element, click on the Elements tab, select a category you want to browse in, then drag and drop the element in your design area. So 3, we have grids. So this grid, what this grid does, there are some pictures that you don't want them to look out of shape. You want them to be in a border. So once you select any of these grids and you place your picture, it automatically fits in to your picture. So it automatically fits, gives you the perfect fit of the picture placement and everything that you want it to be. Say, use to hold images, select the right grid depending on the number of images you plan to use. You should also select the grid layout that works for you. E.g., 2 image laid horizontally, use the grid below. You can see all this one here, you can see that there's a vertical 2 grid, there's a horizontal 2 grid, vertical 3 grid, horizontal 3. So like that, depending on how you want those, how you want your images to be. So we have the text. Here you can see add heading, add subtext, and body of letter. If you want to add heading, you can see this add heading as a big one. Body text is the one that is written bolder. Then the subtext rather is the bolder one below. Then the body of the text is the one below it. So beyond the text placeholders are available, the text gives you options to add. I mean, I've said this before, so it's just like I'm showing you again. So the edits, if you want to change the font, all you just need to do is highlight the particular text that you want to change the font. Then it opens like a font layout for you. Then you click on it and pick any font of your choice. Once again, if you are using the paid version, it is good because you have lots of fonts to choose from. But if you are using the free version, you are limited. Then the background tab. So I mean, it's just basically saying everything that was listed. You can see PNG. If it's showing PNG recommended, PDF standard. So all this, it gives you depending on what you are working on and when you want to save it or download it, it gives you a particular save guide. So it says share by email. We have share on social media. That's when you want to publish or share anything. So share the link to your design. That's if you want to share it to somebody that you know that yes, you want to make the person edit or you just want to make the person view alone. So I mean, that is the end of the canvas. So now let's now go into the browser, the Canva itself. So we see what and what needs to be done and how you need to do it. So it does not feel like, okay, yes, we are just talking and talking and talking without not putting you through anything. So let me stop sharing this. Let me stop sharing this. Then I will just share the, okay, yes. Okay, so share my screen. Screen share. So let me know if you, okay, still loading. Okay, now let me know if you can see my screen. Let me know if you can see my screen. Okay. So Tao said, you can see my screen. Okay. So now we want to create a new design, like a regular design. You can see here, it says recent design. These are all the designs that I have created. It automatically saves it for you on Canva. So if we are to go to templates, as you go to templates, you can see it brings out different, say recommended, say doc, whiteboard. So if we want to do for social media, create on social media, but advisably for it to speed up your process. Lawal, okay. For you to speed up your process, just go to this search bar here. Let's say you want to do like a digital marketing flyer. This you are going to create, you're just going to type in digital marketing. Then you press enter. So it's loading. You can see it brings out various templates on digital marketing, various templates of your choice, be it video. So now where you are going to know if this is a paid or a free version. If you look at each design, you can see this thing that is written pro. Pro, it means this is this particular design is a paid design. So if I'm not using a paid version and I click on it, it's going to ask me to pay. So let's now look for a free. Now you can see this one now does not have the pro. So this one is a free design. Like this is a free design that you can use. For, okay, if you click on it now, you can see it says customize this template. That's, you want to customize it to what you choose. You click on customize this template. Then it takes you to that page that you saw in the document. Takes you to that page that you saw in the document. So you see, when we were talking about grid the last time, this particular distance, this is a grid. This is a grid. If I should delete the picture, let me look for another picture that I can impute. Let's say I go to, let's say, a business lady. Business lady. If you look here, it says photos, graphics. Because I'm not using, I don't want to use, like, I'm not doing like a graphics, like if infographics kind of thing. I'm going to go to photos. Up here, you see all graphics, photos, videos, shapes. So then I go to photos. Gives me a business lady. I pick the one I want. I click on it. It comes here. Then I drag it on the grid. You can see it automatically fits. But if you feel like it does not still fit how you want it to fit, then you double click on that grid. You double click on it. Then it should be new, this thing should pop up. Okay, yeah. See, you double click on it, then you can adjust it. If you want to reduce it, you can't reduce it because, okay, you can just adjust it to how you want it to be. If you want it to be centered, then you go to okay, it is centered. Then anything that you want to put here, if this is not your company, you can remove this, remove this. If you want to change the color, you can change the color. Now let's now go to how you select a font. Once you click on this digital, is a font on its own. Then you come here. You can see it automatically says font. You click on it, it brings out different types of fonts for you. Once again, if you are using, all these fonts are free. But once you keep scrolling down, then you can now start seeing some fonts that are not free. For example, okay, yeah, you can see all these fonts now. All these fonts, they are the ones that are paid for, but you can't use. But because I am using a paid version, I click on it. It changes the font for me. You can see, I click on this, it changes the font for me. But if I don't want to use it, I just need to go back, or I press Ctrl Z. See, I press Ctrl Z, it goes back. That's like I'm undoing what I did. So when it comes to the download, this is where I want people to pay attention. You can see, only you can have access. If you want to send somebody the link, only you can have access. Then you see anyone with the link. You click on anyone with the link, then it now changes to can edit, or can view, or can comment alone. So I don't know if you notice, I want you to pay attention to this. I want you to pay attention to this bar here and look at, immediately I make any changes, you can see it is ticked. Immediately I make any changes, I want you to notice what is going to happen here. So I move this. You saw that there was a loading time. So as I'm moving, it is automatically saving. As I'm moving, it is, so if I should just say I want to do our services include, so now as I'm working, it is saving automatically. So there is nothing like, oh, okay, as I maybe when my laptop goes off, then all what I'm doing goes away. So now if I want to download this, I come to download. So I come to download. You can see suggested PNG. But because I want to download a JPEG version, I come here. You see JPEG, best for sharing. You see PDF standard. You see PDF for print. You see MP4. So these are different options that you can pick from. So now I'm going to show you a finished version, like a finished design of what like how the outcome of any design I want to create on Canva is going to look like. Just let me stop sharing this, then I open this up. So let me go for this. Still okay, yeah. So still loading. Let me now share my screen and show you something. So please let me know if you, okay, still loading. So now let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay, so now as you can see, this is a finished design of like a TGIF post on Canva. A finished design. And there is something that is new about Canva that I want you to know, I'm back on the Canva. Can you see the Canva screen, or is still showing the picture I showed?
We can see.
Like it's showing the Canva screen, right?
Yes, please.
Okay, so now if you go to elements again, good thing with the whole use of AI, you can see they say generate your own. If you want to generate your own image, you go to generate, impute anything that you want. Let's say a businessman, a businessman. Then you click on generate image. It generates it. It's working on it. Let's see. I think network is low. It's still loading. I think, yeah, my network was acting up. So you can see it creates an image, different type of image of a businessman for you. See, just with the help of AI. So all those okay, I don't know if Canva will have this picture. You can just generate it with AI on Canva. As far as even generating with AI on Canva alone, you can also use AI for your text. So if we are to write, let me change this to white. So now, if we are to write, let me just use digital marketing. Digital marketing. If you can see this thing that I wrote, magic writes. You click on magic writes. It tells you continue writing, shorten, rewrite. If you go for continue writing, it's loading. It gives you everything you need to know about digital marketing. Let me just remove this. It gives you everything you need to know about digital marketing. So instead of you now going through ChatGPT and coming back to copy and paste, you can just do everything on Canva. You can do everything on Canva. So you can see I increase what I want you to see. Then when I'm done, I reduce it back, then continue working on anything I'm working on. So I want to know if you have any questions on Canva, because that is basically, I can just give you like an assessment on you creating a digital marketing flyer of your choice. I don't want you to use the presets, digital marketing images or anything. You can just go and create your own, include your own details in it. So I want to know, is there anything that is unclear regarding the Canva and the business analysis to you? Please let me know. And I would love to have like questions, everybody. Questions. Can anybody hear me? Because right about now, we've come to like the end of this session. So it's just like giving you like a little test on what and what, because I told you what this tool is for, what this tool is for, and how you need to get it. So any questions, any questions? Okay. Someone
Please
says
feel
it's
free
clear.
to ask your question, please.
Yeah,
This
please feel
question.
free. Feel free to ask a question, because we've come to the end of the class. So it's just, I just need questions from anybody, everybody, anybody. Okay. Everybody saying all correct. You understand? Okay. Thank you very much. Okay, so with that, I think we've come to the end of the Canva and the business analysis session. So even with this now, you can even still link it with your business analysis in the sense that you have, just like I said, you are working with the clients, they tell you, oh, they need a design on this. If they don't give you the proper breakdown of what they need the design to entail, you might not get what they want. So you can see, you business analysis Canva, you can use it for anything, what you want it to what you want to use it for rather. So thank you everyone. I hope you okay. So it's always asking how do you get the paid version? You pay for it. When you go to Canva, when you go on Canva, you pay for it. You impute your own details on Canva and pay the amount. I mean, even right now about on Instagram, so I think there are something that I see some ads on, like you pay okay, for now it just generates, someone is asking, can it generate AI video content? Okay, for now is image content that they can generate. They've not incorporated the video aspect. So they've not incorporated the video aspect. So it's still that. So please, once again, we've come to the close of the class. So you guys, you can go back. I mean, there are still like some couple of free templates that you can use on Canva. There are a couple of free templates that you can use. So you just come up with a design on your own and do it as a like a assessment to assess yourself if you understand. And if there are any questions, you'll revert back to me and I'll put you through as well. So thank you everybody. Thank you so much. And
Can we upload our trainer before he leaves us on the call, please? Let's just appreciate him. He has really done so well. That was informative, yes, and educative. Please, let's appreciate him. Thank you so much, Bodung. It was nice
thank you very
having you
much.
on the
Thank you very
call
much.
today. Yeah, and I learned so much too. Thank you for that.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So before I leave, so concerning the business analysis, I would just want like one or two people should just tell me like what is your biggest takeaway? Like what did you learn from either both the business analysis aspect or the Canva aspect? I just need one or two people. One or two people should just tell me what they learned. What's your takeaway? What's your biggest takeaway from today's class before I leave? Because I know that people today is Saturday and people will have like things they are doing. So just one or two persons, just tell me your biggest takeaway from today's session. So Funshaw, Richard, Funshaw is raising. Funshaw, please, you can unmute and speak.
I think they don't want to ask. I think they don't want to talk.
But yeah, okay, if you don't want to talk, you can drop it in the chat box. I mean, if you
Yes,
don't want to talk,
I actually wanted to talk. I think the admin did not unmute us.
oh,
All
okay,
right.
okay,
I think, yeah, my biggest takeaway is the requirement, which is
okay.
in the IT world, we call it the FRD and the BRD. That's the
Yeah,
functional
okay.
requirement document and the business requirement document. It's very important for a business analysis to have detailed understanding of what the requirements of the business is or
Yeah,
the client is, so that you will design according to specification, what IT people call SDS, system design specification. So
yeah,
there must be
exactly.
like a checklist, an agreement. Okay, you want me to do this. Okay, you itemize them. And that's the biggest takeaway I've taken from your lecture today. So once you do it, then at the point of testing, that is user acceptance testing between you and the key stakeholders who are going to use that system, you should do a kind of a checklist. Okay, you said we should design this, we have done it. You said we should build a logo on it. This is this. You have I mean, something of this nature. a salesperson on the logo, items. So like a checklist, thinking that this is exactly what you have done. Okay,
Yeah,
so
everything is going to be well documented.
fantastic. So by the time you are coming to full delivery of the project and before the production and go live, if there is any need for a rework, you will have agreed this with the business team or the client, so that by the time you are giving the full delivery or the completed delivery, there won't be any misalignment of interest. I think that's a very good word for me in your lecture, and I appreciate you so much for that. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Funshaw. And I think Richard was raising his hand. Thank you, Mr. Funshaw. I really
Yes,
appreciate it.
I'm still here. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for this wonderful session. It has really been eye-opening and informative. The business analysis class has really opened my eyes to a lot of things. For instance, in my workplace, for instance, the chat flow, the Zagi, not only that, all those other things that were shared here, they were really helpful, and we appreciate you for the great work you're doing. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Richard. Thank you, everybody. And I wish you best of luck in whatever you want to use this for, and have a lovely weekend.
All right. Thank you so much, Bodun. Do have a beautiful weekend. Okay, everyone, thank you so much for staying till the end. It was nice having all of you on the call. Please, if you still want to fill the attendance list, please, the link is still on the chat room. And I will implore that, please, as participants of this beautiful program, follow us on all of our social media handles. We need your engagement on Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook. Please, we need you to like our post, comment, and thank you. That's all that we need from you. And there is an ongoing, and we are currently accepting admission into the 2025-2026 academic session for new students. Please, we are imploring that if you know anyone who needs this information, because it's actually 100% tuition free, encourage them to register with us. It's an NID program, so encourage them to register with us so that they can join the class by September. So we offer business informatics, we offer networking and system security, as well as computer software engineering. So we need you to tell people it's actually free. Let them come and enjoy what we are, or let them benefit on what we are doing. All right. Thank you so much for having us on the call. And if you are yet to pay your registration fee, we are almost done. Okay. Please do well to pay up so that we will not be struggling. But I believe that by 9th week, this is the 8th week, by 9th week, we won't be accepting payment anymore. So please, if you are still having a pending payment, do well to do so. Okay, someone is asking, are we looking for lecturers? Please, you can chat us privately, but at the moment, you can chat us privately on our WhatsApp platform. If you want to join us by September, you are free. It's a fresh session because we are almost rounding up the first year. All right. For the 2024-2025, we are almost rounding up. So the first session for 2025-2026 is starting September. So as an old student, you can join us. I don't know if I get your question correctly. You can join us. Maybe you can chat me privately on WhatsApp so that I can give you more clarity. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for today. All right, Peter is a 2-year program. Maybe you can chat me on WhatsApp immediately after now. For more clarity, let me release every other persons to go. Please do have a very beautiful weekend. Do your assessment and submit them on time. Thank you so much and have a wonderful weekend. Bye for now.